ready. Come on, you guys. Gonna be doing a kind of various things today. I'll be working on several drawings as well as probably, definitely a lot of modeling for the house. And then, so there should be plenty to go over. I might even do a little bit. I figured out this morning how to get Unreal Engine set up for VR, and I want to see if I can prep a prototype to get the house that I'm working on into VR. So that will be nice. And other than that, I just have several character designs I want to get done so that I can go ahead and start modeling the characters. I'm going to be doing some ZBrush stuff and some retopology, and hopefully I'll get around at some point in the next couple of months to doing a bunch of texturing. So give me a second. Get my phone set up with it. My Stream Deck. And we'll get started. If you happen to drop in, say hey. And here we go. Okay, so first and foremost, what I have to do is I got to work on this house. It's a little less fun to watch depending on how much into Blender you are. If you're into Blender, it might be very, very enjoyable. Or if you're just interested in this kind of stuff in general. But this is a house that I'm trying to model. As a matter of fact, I need to bring up another PureRef and go ahead and, what am I working on next? Let's check it. Also, I'm going to be doing several character designs. I'm working on, these are basically just portfolio fodder. I'm doing kind of a more realistic character here, which is just a pretty basic. It's really more of a technical exercise than a super specific character, although I am going to try to be as detailed as I can with the costuming. This is meant to be for a design for something either a very like a more realistic style video game, or a movie or something. And then I have these, which are kind of stretching my stylization legs, and a little bit more for fun. And this is actually for the Game Builders Club. This is probably the most important of the three that I need to work on, is a character for, basically for kind of a prototype video game that I'm building through our university video game club. So primarily I'll be switching between this one and my modeling, because those are the projects that are probably the most important for me to get done. But I'm going to start with modeling because I really need to get that one out the way. I'm going to start a Pomodoro timer, and let's get to it. So, for this guy, where I was at is I was starting to place the siding around the back of the house and get the windows placed. I'm going to have to model a couple of different types of windows I figured out yesterday. So I'm going to be jumping on that. If you do pop in and you see something you're interested in or whatever, if you're into Blender or you're into drawing, whatever, feel free to ask me questions, and I will take a break from what I'm doing and try to answer them. Just because I like doing that kind of stuff. So let's go pull this guy up. I've got some links to some more images that I'm going to need to refer to. I also need to pull up my I've got some iCloud photos that I took of the house. I went out to the house and took. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So I haven't done these back ones here. There's kind of some smaller windows that I'm going to need to do. So I think I'm going to start with that. let's see if I have them in this. I can go ahead and take off of always displayed. And then this, let's see, do I have any pictures of those photos? Okay, so here's those windows. Let's go ahead and I'm going to close everything that I don't need. Oops, not the whole thing. Close this guy. I didn't realize that roof. We'll just put that roof somewhere. Probably need to give it its own. Let's see, what is this? Plain. Okay, so we'll say new. Let's call it just roof block out. Totally spelled that wrong, but that's okay. Put that in there. Hide it. This was something I did yesterday to kind of get the angle right on the roof. So I'll be referring back to that. Go put that in the roof block out. Check my chat, see if everybody's here. Okay, so I've got. You can probably go ahead and hide some of this stuff as well. Ones to hide though. See, we got type 1 and type 2. Okay, I think I already duplicate. I think these are identical. Alright, so we got this guy. This is our standard smaller window. And then just make sure I don't mess something up. Oh, I already duplicated it. I think. Yeah. Okay, so I'll hide all these. Hide this one. Or actually, no, this is the one I want. Okay, so this is what I'm going to turn into the smaller window. So let's take a look at it and see what we got here. So these are shaped a little differently. They're also much smaller. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll go ahead and turn this one on just as a reference. If I can figure out which one it is. Just that one. Okay, so I'll turn this one on and just make it non-selectable. Make all these, just hide it just so I have it as a reference. And then I need to take this guy and do kind of get it prepped and ready. So first off, it's all gonna need to scale down. So let's snap the cursor to selected. I'm going to grab all of these, grab this, scale in relation to the cursor, and scale that down. And let's see if I can get, if this window width is about 3 foot, take a look at this. It's not, is it half? I'm thinking maybe I should shoot for 2 foot. I don't have any exact measurements, unfortunately. So I'm kind of having to eyeball this. .2. That might be too much. And actually, you know what? I don't think it's as short as that either. That may actually be a good height for it already, and then the rest would be scaling it. Oops. Scaling it in the Y, or actually the X, excuse me, and making it just thinner. Something like that. And may have to completely remodel this guy because it has a different number of panes, and let's look, it's built a little differently as well. I think I can get away with sticking with the original frame for the outside of it. It looks like it follows a similar construction, it's just smaller. I'm gonna have to adjust it a little bit. Alright, so in that case, let's grab this one. I'm going to delete that one because I'm going to need to mirror it down anyway. Let's take a look at this one. I will probably, what will I do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut out, first off, let's just go ahead and isolate this so I can work on it. So it's got a mirror on it that I don't want. So I'm going to cut off the bottom part of it. So I'm going to create loop cuts probably here. Let's see if I can even it out. Here, here, and here. And then let's go into X-ray mode. Just grab this one that kind of got off a little bit and move it up on the Z and snap it. Make sure it's snapping to probably vertices, GZ, and closest, GZ, and snap it to that. Okay, and then I'm just going to get rid of all these vertices on the bottom. And then I probably see 1, 2, 3, that's okay. Although it would probably still be good to go ahead and just delete half of these. Delete vertices, and then we're going to add another mirror. This time it might be a good idea to move the transform origins. I have to be in object mode for that. Move the transform origin, G, Z, snap it up to this level, and then go to the mirror here and mirror it down on the Z. Okay, and it's obviously it's a little long, but most everything else is looking pretty good. Just need to fix. And for that, I think I'm going to go ahead and, well, I've got to, let's turn off transform origins. Let's go back to bounding box center SZ and just kind of scale it down so that this is more even. Like so. Take a look here. Take a look, see. It's much better. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Actually, no. Let's move it. Actually, let's scale it back up a little bit so these are a little bit more long. And then I'll just go in here and move these guys down so that it evens out that bottom edge. Okay, and then with regards to all of these guys, what I probably need to do is thicken them up a little bit. So let's just grab all of these, scale on the X, scale out a little bit. Actually, let's grab this top one too. Scale them out so that thickens up. And I can always add a bevel to it, like so. Let's go ahead and apply the scale. And there's no rotation on it. I'm going to leave the location where it is. If I got any coffee left. I really need like a decent coffee maker. Nice keyboard. Hey, what's going on, blockchain, Chad? Oh yeah, the keyboard panel. Yeah, that's Noboard, Nohboard. Sorry if I didn't catch your comment right away. I don't know if you're still there. Okay, so let's grab these vertices, S, Z, scale them up, thicken that one up as well. Not going to be super crazy about it. Doesn't need to be like exactly the same as the other one, as long as it just visually looks close enough. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go out of isolation mode and see how it's matching up with everything else. I didn't change the width of it, so that's good. So that means it should still match up. Let's switch to edge, select snapping mode here, and GZ snap. Actually, it does look like it's not quite. Let's see, it might be a good time to go and see if I can find another image, maybe with potentially a close-up of that house. Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, good. I'm glad you're still here though. Are you on YouTube or are you on Twitch, Chad? Because I'm streaming to both, and it's not always super clear who's on what. I'm just curious. It seems like I don't really get much YouTube. Yeah, hopefully it'll look really nice once I get it all set up and textured, and I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna probably try to get it into Unreal as well. Okay, so I do have some proportional issues here. It doesn't. If I were to duplicate this window down, I don't think it would fit all the way. Oh, no problem, Chad. I was just curious because I would like to get some YouTube traffic for sure, but it seems like from a streaming standpoint, well, neither one is all that friendly to new streamers really, but so let's see here. What do I need to do? Let's take a look at the sizing here. I could scale it down a little bit more, and then I need to thin it out a little more too. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and go into edit mode. Isolate it with the / key if I can hit the right key on my keyboard. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of scale this a little bit on the, actually, let's do individual origins. Oh, no. Oh, it's because I have to be in X-ray mode so I can select all the vertices first. Scale Z, and I will scale bounding box. No, let's scale towards the 3D cursor, because I'm just trying to get. No, that's not what I want either. I guess I'll have to scale it out of here. I was trying to avoid having to scale from object mode because that forces me to change the orientation a little bit. Well, thanks, Chad. I appreciate that. I just please, if you get a chance, like and subscribe or whatever. I'm fairly new to all this. It's gonna take me a while to grow, and any little bit helps. And I'm in school and I'm working and all that stuff too, so it's gonna be tricky. But hopefully I can start making some connections on here. Okay, so I'm gonna apply this scale. Control A, scale, apply. And then let's go back out of isolation mode just so I can see what I'm doing here. GZ, I'm going to snap up here. Alright, and now that I have all that, I'm going to go ahead and maybe scale them down just a tad more. And then scale on the X only just to thin it out, because those are fairly slim looking windows. Not too slim though. It might have been a little too much. It's hard to say because I'm looking at him from kind of an angle here. Let's check another photo and see what the dealio is. Yeah, that's the same angle. Let's see. I want a different angle. Preferably straight on if I could get it, but there aren't that many photos. Let me go back out here. Check I think the iPad ones were taken from a little bit further away. So there'd be less detail, but at the very least, yeah, so they're not as thin as, they're pretty thin, but they're not as thin as they look from that angle. So let's scale it back out on the X a little bit. So I got 12 minutes left of my Pomodoro. On the break, I'm gonna switch back over to drawing and work on one or a couple of these. Definitely need to work on this guy, but I may work on her as well because I want to do something slightly more realistic for my portfolio. But this guy I need to get done for a project. Plus he's fun, and I can't wait to see him all colored up. But I need to add more detail to his costume. I kind of neglected to add much in the way of uniform detail on this guy. So okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna just snap my 3D cursor to this guy. Awesome, Chad. Well, if you ever want to collaborate on anything, or if you have any questions or whatever, let me know. Because I do like me some Blender. I do. Although right now I'm actually trying to learn some Maya as well. Oh, why is that not doing? Why ain't you snapping to my geometry? There we go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and what do I want to do? Do I want to put? Yeah, let's just go ahead and I'm gonna go and set the. Oh wait, no. If I set the origin, that's gonna mess it up. So let's just create a temporary empty right here. Just to mirror down across. Or actually, no, I don't need to do that. Let's do. What am I thinking? Let's delete that. Make sure I don't delete the wrong one. And instead, I'll just array. Add an array modifier. Yeah, no problem, Chad. And let's turn the X down to 0, mirror it down on the Y, -1, or actually maybe not all the way -1. Let's go -0.9, see what that does. It's not enough. 0.95. That's pretty good. And then I need to move it back on the Y, I guess -1, like so. Like so. It's a me, Mario. I'll do -1.05. No, just 1.1. -1.1. Yeah, there we go. Give it a little something, something. Okay, that's not too bad. These shutters definitely need to be thinner. As a matter of fact, let's just take this and just look and see kind of how it matches up. So SX, let's get it nice and thin, but not too thin. That's pretty good. Take that Z rotation off. Looks like it would cover the windows correctly. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna turn off face orientation. It's getting on my nerves. There we go. All right, GX. Let's move this over. Voila, like so. All right, I think that's pretty good, I would say. Let's take, it looks like I need to take this, I don't see a bottom sill on this guy, at least not like that. Let's take a look at the actual geometry of the frame and see if anything else is off. if I can get enough people interested in the channel, I might start doing some. I have been doing Sunday night. I do like Blender lessons for some of the people in our game club. I would really kind of like to do something like that actually on Twitch if I actually had, you know, a following, and I could have some people that would show up and let me walk them through some stuff. I think that would be fun, and that would be a good way to grow. Blender Guru it. Oh. Chad, if you're still there, are you interested in more real-time stuff like games, or are you more thinking, are you more into like, I don't know, architecture or design stuff, or are you into rendering or cool effects or VFX or whatever? Let's see here. Is that connected? It's not connected, so I could go ahead and delete that. I don't know if I want to delete it all the way though. I just probably need to match it up. Let's isolate. Oops, I need to take the mirror off of this one as well. Mirror all across the world anyway. VR type games. Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, that's I just I've got for this house project actually. I've got a kind of a presentation tomorrow that I was kind of experimenting with some VR in VR in Unreal earlier today, and I got it all set up. Not with this version of the house because I'm still kind of modeling it, but I do have like a reference version that they gave me when I kind of got this project. Somebody did before me. Like everything's basically, this house looks okay, but it's like completely inaccurate. Like I'm pretty sure they just used like some stock assets and just threw some stuff together, whereas I'm actually modeling it. But I did throw this guy into Unreal earlier and set up my Oculus so I could walk around the house and look at it, and it works pretty well. It's easy. It's like super easy to set up. So I think I'm gonna try to make that a part of this project, because the whole idea behind this project is a 3D reconstruction of a real historical building, and being able to set up ways that people can actually visit it and kind of look at it, or you know, have it available if the house ever gets like knocked down or whatever, have like a digital version of it available for people to go to. So it's a pretty cool project actually. It's a little bit on the tedious side, but it's good modeling experience, and it's like you said, you got to start somewhere. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes left. I think that let's make this bottom a little bit thicker. Oops, did I mess anything up when I did that? Looks like it looks like it's not mirroring across the Y anymore. There we go. Oh, looks like maybe this one too. Make sure everything's lining up. Yeah, I'm actually not like super experienced with architecture either, but this is a really good project for remedying that, because I am interested in, like, I would really like to do like environments for games and stuff, but I've always been more interested in characters, so I always slack on it a little bit. So I'm kind of looking at this project. It doesn't really pay all that well. It pays a little bit. It's like $11 an hour, but the hours are limited. I'm not exactly going to be able to pay all the bills with it. Let's put it that way. But like I said, by the time this is done, I should have a good number of like fully modeled, real-time ready houses under my belt. The exteriors, at least, which will look really good for a portfolio, particularly for like a game environment portfolio. So I'm looking forward to that, because it would be a good foot in the door. And you know, environment stuff is less competitive than character stuff. So be a good way to get started. You know, tease my way into the character stuff. Yeah, I'm working on it. It's certainly taken me a while. I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes at this point and wasted a lot of time. And I'm only now kind of getting to where I understand how to get past some things and get stuff done, you know. Okay, so I think that's pretty much good to go. So now let's just make sure everything is, all the scale is applied on all of these. I'm gonna leave the locations where it is, make rotation good. I'm not gonna apply this yet, or I'm not gonna apply the mirror modifiers on it yet, in case I need to change it later. I also need to probably actually do need to scale it up on the Z a little bit to get it to fit in there. Should I do some more? All right, let's go up here. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 3D cursor and snap it up here. And I'm gonna scale in relation to that on the Z, just to kind of get this lined up. Good. Well, I would hope. I mean, that's kind of what I've always enjoyed about like teaching and sharing information and stuff. Like when I get on YouTube, I pretty much usually is like I just want to like learn stuff, right? And like see people who are making stuff happen and doing stuff that I want to do, and kind of sharing the struggle, you know. So I would like to be that for somebody else as well. It's like I'm getting a little congested here. That's not good. We did just get a cold front blow in. It's like all of a sudden it's a lot colder than it was. Okay. Okay, I need to apply the scale again. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so I have my parent object here. Let's make sure everything is named appropriately. So I need to change the names here. I'm just going to do a batch rename on all of these. And go to Edit, Batch Rename, or Control F2. Find and replace. I'm going to replace type 01 with type 02. Okay, and okay. And I probably need to do that on the data as well. So let's use the hotkey this time. Oops. It was hiding on me. Search, type 01 and type 02. Just replace that. No objects renamed. What? Oh, I didn't select, I forgot to select meshes. Quit yelling at me. I know, it's time for break. Object, let's search. Is it data, I guess? Yeah. Data? Did it fix it? Okay, got it. Cool. Cool, man. Cool, man. I do need to kind of renumber them, it looks like. Let's see, let's replace all of these. Let's just replace these with good grief. Okay, let's just do this real quick. I need to replace, what is it, 0.002 with 0.001 just to get this. I'm trying to be organized here. Okay, and that's on the objects. I need to do the same thing with the data. Yeah, you know, and by the way, I'm open to, if you catch something that I'm doing that maybe could be done more efficiently, please let me know, because I want to do better. Okay, cool. we're good to go. Although this one doesn't even have, I don't know if I really need to give this one data. Okay, I will anyway though. Let's just grab this. Let's rename it. Cut out 1. Thanks for the follow, Chad. Okay, so I'm trying to be good about giving myself breaks and stuff. So I'm gonna take my 10-minute break, and then I will be back, and I'll do a little bit of drawing when I get back. Work on this guy and try to switch back and forth because both of these projects I need to get done. So let's set my 10-minute timer here, and I'm gonna go to the Be Right Back screen, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, I may go ahead and come back a minute early. Got my stretch, went to the bathroom, got some water. Actually, you know what, having said that, I do need to take some Advil. Okay, that's better. I did not get near enough sleep last night, and when that happens, my body starts yelling at me. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so as mentioned, I am going to get this timer out of the way. Let's switch to this guy. I'm going to start a timer on this one. And let's start working on getting, I'm going to go ahead and take this PureF off of the top and switch to this one. Get set up here. And let's do some drawing. It looks like my this color source here is messed up. Let me fix something real quick. Oh, it's locked. There we go. Just mess around with this stream stuff. Looks like my camera's a little high too. Okay, let's go. 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 Alright, so basically what I want to do is work on getting the details of this guy's costume in. And then I can start on color. I'm just going to turn this off because it's kind of distracting. Grab my pen. Why is it not grabbing my pen? Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer, that's why. Could help if you're on the right layer, couldn't it? Couldn't it? Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's start with the shoulder pads and work my way down. So now, tricky thing is I don't want. I'm trying to be, you know, stylized with this, right? So I don't want to get too detailed. So need to be wary of the silhouette. I feel like maybe this needs to move back a little bit. Let's check him on here. Oops. Something like that. And then let's see if I can figure out the best way to represent this star. Again, without getting too in detail, but to make you kind of see what it is. Or, you know, get some sense of what it's supposed to be. Something like so, possibly. And then there's another thing there. And then I need to make sure to show that there is something coming off right here as well. There we go. And then show that there. Let's grab my liquify, just kind of bump that out a tad. And then add some detail there. And then let's grab another Put another one on his shoulder right there. I feel like that's too close. It's in a kind of an awkward spot. Just want to make sure it doesn't turn into... It's looking like kind of a tangent. I may just leave it off. Just say it's being hidden. And then I like this patch here. I don't really know exactly what's going on with it there, but I can fake it. This don't have to be perfect. This ain't realism. Let's clear this out. And then there's an edge. Here. See, this is kind of off. Let me see if I can figure out how to give myself a little more space to mess with all this. This out. Something like that. See if I can get these shapes right. And then let's grab my little liquefy. See if I can get it kind of. Also, let me just check my. I forget which way is the original. Okay, so this is the original orientation, which sort of puts that patch on the wrong shoulder, but I like what I did with the patch. And I guess I don't really know anything about how patches are supposed to work, especially not from this. Ooh, I like that star though. Ooh. Is there anywhere else I can display this guy? Tell you what, let's grab him with the marquee tool, copy it to its own layer. I'm gonna hide it, and now I'm gonna do the star. Probably leave out the Indian though. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're both patches. I'm trying to think, would there be any patches on the right shoulder for this guy? Is that a thing? Is it only like does it only show up on their left shoulder? Is that what the deal is? I don't know anything about how patches work for the military, especially not like World War II patches. Let me look up some more stuff real quick. So World War II soldier uniform. I may need to say officer uniform. Okay. And there's the classic kind of. I really need to do my homework on this, like what the patches would mean. And it's probably something that I would need to, like, if this were an actual job. But I'm pressed for time. Let's see here. Let's look this up. So, soldier rank patches. Here we go. So I'm thinking this guy. Let's call him a corporal. We'll put that. And then let's see what else we got going on here. Because I don't think he would have been like a higher up or anything, but he would have been maybe not like a grunt. Let's see, what is all this? Oh, okay. This has to do with. Does that go on? Does that have to do with the stuff on the top as well? It might. No, not. How soldier. Let's see if I can find something quick. How soldier uniforms work. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but. Okay, so yeah, let's just leave it at that. We'll call him a corporal. I did say corporal, right? Yes. We'll call him a corporal. And then aren't the wings like for like a pilot or something? Yeah, they are. We'll go ahead and give him soldier uniform meanings. Officer uniform. Okay, so I see the. Okay, so here we go. We've got some other stuff. So patches, corporal specialist. What about maybe badges? Soldier, officer uniform. Badges. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. This looks interesting. Which, by the way, I need to probably save this stuff. Okay, so we got regimental insignia. We've got, okay, here we go. This is good. Let's grab this one as well. Oh wait, did I? You go back to the patches and grab the patch thing. The patch one that I was referring to. Okay, and then let's select everything, Control Alt A, or just Control A, I think. Control A, then Control Alt up to kind of even out the sizing. Control P to kind of lay everything out. And oh, it didn't like me pulling it off of Google. That's not good, because I need those images. Let me try visiting the site directly. And let's go all the way forward to the newer one. Same thing here. See if I can pull it from the site. Okay, let's save image as. And there we go. That's better. And then let's grab this one, save image as. Like so. Control A, Control Alt up, Control P. Okay. Oh, somehow I got two of those, but okay, so now it's working all of a sudden. I don't know. I don't understand how Google works sometimes. It's weird. Let's just delete, because I don't need two of them. Okay, so what we got? So we got combat and skill badges. See what the bar, we got overseas bars. So that's probably something that we would want to give him. Identification patches. Now, it's possible some of this is not super accurate the way it would have been for World War II times, but I don't think it necessarily matters for... Then again, and honestly, I doubt this game's ever going to see the light of day. It's really just for my portfolio anyway. So as long as it looks like I at least attempted to make it accurate, then I think we're okay. So let's definitely give him the corporal thing here. Or what? As a matter of fact, let's even look for specifically World War II corporal uniform. World War II corporal uniform. Images. Here we go. Although that one's got the 3 bars. That's sergeant. Well, maybe I'll make him a sergeant then, just so I can be more accurate. Because that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. I like it. Okay, it looks like maybe the shoulders are a tad different than what I thought. That is an American uniform, right? It may not be. Army enlisted men's winter service uniform, yeah. Can't really see exactly everything on here, but then again, I don't know if I need to. Okay, so let's give it something that looks kind of like this patch. As a matter of fact, I'll stick with the one I got, and then I'll give him the bars. So let's turn this one on, make it smaller. Move it up here. Maybe I'll do a little liquefy adjustment to it. By the way, sorry if I haven't checked the chat, see if anybody's there. Okay. And let's press J to grab my liquefy tool. Control Alt right click to kind of pull the size up a little bit. We'll do a little shifting around here. And then let's grab these soldier bars. Just kind of draw them in. Like so. There we go. Now it's starting to look like a uniform. And then let's give him the multicolored bars here. Okay, and give him another second one right here. I'm not trying to be super clean with my perspective on these, nor detailed, just enough to make it look like something. And then I'm actually gonna delete, get rid of this and this, simplify it. And I also need the original version. He's got a belt. I think I want to keep the belt because I like what it does with the shape. So let me just see if there's any details on that I need to be aware of. There probably are some belt loops here in the back. So let's put one there, and then one across this side. have, let's see, I think I had a back view. Let's see if there's any, there is a line going down here, which I don't need to be super crazy about, but also this pocket needs to show coming from this angle. Also, I need to do the same detailing here and start putting in his badges up here, and maybe the very top of that pocket as well. And then look here. Get the rotation right on this. So this one actually probably needs to be on the other side then. So let's get rid of that. It's X. And go over here and V and translate. Or transform or whatever we want to call it. There we go. Move that to that side. I need to add in some buttons. So I need a couple buttons on this side, and I can kind of maybe give them a little bit of this thing here going on. That one's probably, third one would probably be hidden there. Okay, and then we just take a look. The sleeves are kind of torn up, but let me just take a look and see what's there. Okay, I definitely want to put in the bars down here. So number one, let's get this guy kind of in, and then I want the bars, the overseas bars, and also just reset this view real quick just to make sure. You know what? Tell you what, I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna actually flip the entire composition, the final composition, so that this is the right side. Flip canvas, horizontal. That, yeah, that's not the view, that is the full canvas, so that should be correct now. And which actually kind of means that I should move the other one back. And also I need a little bit more fabric on this side. Okay. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something. So let's get his bars in there. Or his overseas bars. It's 4 bars. So and like so. And I need to do the same thing on the other side. And this is going to need to move now because it's on the wrong side. And I need to, let's go ahead and combine all these. Merge selected layers, and let's move this guy over here. So I'm missing a collar piece here. Actually means I can kind of simplify over here as well. Okay. Much better, much better. See how much time we got. 6 minutes left. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Let's see here. Okay, let's clean this guy up a little. And this one as well. And I'm going to copy those over. Just grab these for now. Let's duplicate that. And then I need to move. Let's Control T. Move it over here. Rearrange it. Adjust it. And I'll need to do a little bit of. Let's grab this and go to Mesh Transformation, and let's pull everything in this direction. Get a little bit of distortion. Okay. And probably the same thing for this guy. Okay, and this side needs to move up. This needs to move towards it. Okay. See if that looks like it matches up. Yes, it does. It does indeedy. Been watching too much Home Improvement lately. Heidi ho, neighbor. Wilson. Some of y'all may not even know what I'm talking about. Makes me feel old, but back in the 90s, it was a good show. Tim Allen. Okay, so this one's going to be really distorted. As a matter of fact, it may not even be worth copying over, but oops, I moved my pivot point. Where did I move my pivot? There it is. Okay, that's close enough for now. And let's take it and do this number on it. Doing. It's not quite. You know what it is? I think compared to this one, the sleeves are just different. Okay, let's number one. Let's move this up a bit more. Distort it even a bit more. Maybe give it some. Like that, and then I'm going to take this whole edge here and kind of give it a little more. Oops, on the wrong layer for that. Give myself a little more fabric to work with on this side. To redraw a little bit of this too, because yeah, I mean just have to redraw some of that. Let me just let's erase a little bit out, because it needs to be kind of just the design feels off for that spot. sure to let's get this kind of ropey looking thing around here going around. Okay. That's a little bit better. Looks like it's about to be break time again. So when I get back, I'll do some more modeling, and then we'll switch back over this here in about an hour or so. And I'll go ahead and should be able to go ahead and start working on getting the color filled out. Okay, I think there's enough detail there to let you know that he's a soldier, I would say. I don't really need to add too much more detail right here, because this part's going to kind of fade out anyway. Okay. Let's just see what it looks like now. And you know what? I wonder if, let's grab my eraser here and let's see if I can just kind of, I don't know if I need all that. Yeah, that's fine. And I do want, however, want to put maybe a button right there, and then probably a badge doesn't really need to be there. Let's see, yeah, I think maybe I could hint at a patch right here possibly, but that's probably all I need to do. Okay, so it's break time. I'm going to set my timer here. I'm going to do another 10 minutes. And I will be back shortly. Just a couple more minutes and I will be back. If you happen to pop in, say hey. Okay, let's get back to it. Alright, I need to test my widgets too, by the way. Let's see. Okay, one of them's working. Apparently my alert box... Oh, maybe I just didn't put an alert box on this. Am I ready? I'm ready for another one. Real quick though, I just want to see if I can fix. Also, my new follower goal isn't quite working right either. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, so let me grab my alert box sources. Hold on just a second, you guys. Alert box. Just test that. Let's move it a little bit. That's pretty good. Maybe over to the right just a tad. It's much more satisfying whenever somebody follows and I have alerts set up. Okay, cool. And then I'll have to figure out what's going on with my goal. Because I was going to have like a follow goal to incentivize people following. Alright, so I need to work on the house project next. So I'm going to start Pomo. Roll on that, head back over to Blender here. I've got my reference up here. we basically kind of finished the window on this last Pomodoro, so now I need to go ahead and create a new collection and add 0.001 to this guy. I need to actually fix that pivot as well. 0.001. Check all the data on here. Make sure everything is named correctly. So type 2. Okay, cool. And let's move that into here. And let's just check all the other stuff. Just kind of show the block out. That looks like I'm gonna need to adjust the roof a bit to match. Well, I mean, this is kind of just a block out. It's not really like a finalized version of the roof. Make my reference a little bit smaller here. Okay. Go ahead and turn on some of this other facade stuff. Is my siding on? I must have turned all these off. Okay, so I guess what I need to do now is start kind of let's go ahead and finish placing the siding around this side, and then I'll go ahead and go in and start adding in the windows, and then I'm gonna need to work on the very bottom of the house where the brick/cement stuff is. There's also a door back here which I almost forgot about. Every time I think I'm getting closer to done with this project, I realize that there's more stuff. So it's tricky. It's tricky, man. It's tricky. Let's hide this roof so I can kind of see what's going on here. All right. Let's find our siding here. Let's create a new duplicate collection. Let's grab this siding. I'm going to turn on edge center snapping. I'm going to bounding box back on. G, Shift Z to keep it on at the same height on the Z axis, and snap by pressing Control to the center of that edge. And then I'm going to R, Z, 90, probably negative. Okay, and then I need to change the boolean here so it's a little bit, so it fits the side of the house. So if I go into edit mode on this boolean, X-ray just so I can see all the vertices, G, Y, and let's snap it to that edge. I'm going to keep the height where it is for now because I realized there's going to be a cement sort of leading up the side there. Okay, and let's do the same thing again. Duplicate collection, grab this guy, G, Shift Z, snap to here. Let's actually zero this out. Okay, and then we'll go 180, and then same deal, grab the boolean and move that over towards, let me actually hide this guy real quick and the one before it, GX, and snap to this edge like so. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, and then let's grab, duplicate it again. Grab my next one, G, Shift Z. This one's gonna be a little funky. Well, I kind of did it. Let me hide this thing. Yeah, that's not technically the center. So, let's see here. What's the best way to do this? Let's go face selection mode. Maybe not. Let's grab these two faces. Shift S, cursor to selected. I think that should be the center. Yes. And then go back into object mode. Snap selection to cursor, and then I'll move it back up. GZ to here. I'll snap to edge and snap it to this edge. RZ90 negative. Okay. And now I just need to do the same thing and go to the booleans and make sure all those edges are selected. And GY and snap it to that edge. And I need to I'm gonna need to actually adjust the actual base geometry of this guy. So let's go in here and vertex mode. Do I have a mirror on this, or is it just... No, I don't have a mirror on him, so I can just scale on the Y. So he's plenty long. There we go. And that fits. Okay, and I can turn all these other ones on, and now I'm starting to look like I got siding on this house. Got some real siding. It's a start. Alright, so seeing as how I'm looking at this side of the house anyway, let's go ahead and start figuring out how to place stuff. So I do have this. Let's go ahead and unhide my windows, what I have so far. Wait, is that the right side of the house? Wait, did I put this on the wrong side? Oh, maybe they're mirroring across. Are they mirroring across? I think they are. Yeah, they are. So this actually doesn't, none of this stuff needs to mirror over. Let's just go to here, grab all these. See, second way to for this. Okay, so that should remove all of those, oh, except for this one. Okay, cool. Because I need a fresh slate to work with here, and then I need to use this window here. So first off, let's check the scaling on it. Here, I'm going to go ahead and actually, yeah, here's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and snap that to cursor, so it's over here, and then RZ90. Pull it out enough that I can kind of see what's going on with it. Okay, cool. So this is gonna need to go somewhere thereabouts. pretty close to this edge. And actually I'm realizing these shutters need to be adjusted. But that's right now. Let's just oh, and actually, you know what? I probably could mirror this guy across. Just see where that is, because it's pretty. Because see, and that one's, yeah, that's mirroring too. It's mainly just this bottom window that I don't want to mirror, because they're different windows. There's going to be an extra chimney on one side of the house. Oh, it's not on the other. I added more to this file. Gonna have to do some file organization. I keep downloading photos. Gotta save that hard drive space, baby. See, let's go ahead and see if I can find some photos for the other side too. Just to compare the two. Maybe mount down more towards the bottom here. Oh, that's not right either. That side, and then you got, here we go, this is the side I was looking for. It's not the best visibility. So we got these two chimneys on this side. This one's this extension up here. I also have a window on that back portion of the house that looks like it might be a little different than the ones that I've already done. I have to be wary of that. It's like a whole bunch of mismatched windows on this house. That might be essentially the same window, just maybe without the stuff on the top and the bottom and without the shutters. It's close at least. I guess either way I'm gonna have to kind of duplicate it, and then the same thing with these on the back here. I'll have to double check and see. I think they're essentially just the same window as this, just without the extra stuff. Maybe slightly different proportions, potentially. There's a little bit of, there's some stuff down here I'm going to have to model. Okay, so I need to do a couple things here. Let's finish mirroring over these again across the world pivot, which is an empty that I've added to the center of this scene here. Let's find this, turn off the siding so I can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna need to add booleans into all that too to cut out the windows out of the siding. Ooh, that was good. Oh, and I guess I could just copy. Yeah, I can. Let's grab these, save myself a little time. Because I already have one on there. Let's grab these two though. Shift select that one. Grab this guy. Copy to selected. Okay. That works. Alright, so what's next? There's another window on this side, and in this case though I'm gonna need to, first off, let's find it in my outliner. And where is that one at? Let's go ahead and duplicate this one. Duplicate this collection here. Okay, and then I'm gonna move it over to this side. We'll just shift selection to cursor again. It looks like the shutters didn't come with it. For some, oh yeah, they did. It's just needs to be rotated on the Z-axis 180. And then let's move it kind of over into position here. Like so. Let's try to move all these out a bit. Just so it's easier to see the placement. And I'll worry about getting it exactly into position once everything's placed. Because I'm going to have to adjust a few things. I'm going to have to adjust the shutters. I need to add curtains in too, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. Because this first version of the house is just for 3D printing, so there's not going to be any need to worry about what's going on in the interior. And I'll be able to kind of simplify some things out. So, and then spend a few more weeks refining this to get it prepped for going into like a game. Okay, so I'm gonna have 4 of these smaller windows that I made over on this side. So this guy right here, let's find it in here, make sure it's prepped. Oh, these all need to move in here. Bills, bills, bills. Bills, bills. Every time I turn around, there's a bill. And I am not making enough money. Duplicate collection. Okay. And actually, you know what? I shouldn't have done that yet. Let me undo that. I'm going to move this guy first. Shift S, selection of cursor, and rotate around the building here. And then I'm going to RZ90, yes, GX, just to move it out a bit so I can see what's going on. And then I'll just go ahead and move it over here so that it's somewhat lined up. Where I need it. Now I'll duplicate it. So duplicate collection. Y. Move it on the Y. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing with both of these. Duplicate collection, move that one down. GZ, I'll go ahead and GY and snap it to snap to center and snap it to this guy here. If I can find it, I need to do vertice maybe. GY, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, and then let's duplicate it again. Make sure I get the right one. And then GY and snap back to this guy. Okay, cool. Alright. So if I get everything placed on the house, it'll start to look like there's something supposed to be there. Also, let's turn these corner columns all back on so it looks like. And under this, we can turn the brick corners on. Why do you turn everything off? I didn't get it. Just want to start to see how things are looking here. Yeah. It's starting to look like something. These have the mirror on them, which I probably don't want. Let me take a look at the other side actually and see if there's any. Maybe these two actually could mirror across. Actually, or is it those two? Yeah, no. Okay, I think this could work. This could work. So let's grab this, this, and this, and copy to selected. And same thing here, grab this, this, and this, and then copy to selected. So that mirrors across. Oh, did I grab the wrong ones? No, these just have that on there. These don't need to be mirrored though. I'm gonna go ahead and take those off, like so. And this, depending on how this goes, I may have to move those over a little more. See, that is these two, which would probably mean it's possible this may not line up quite right. See, these are kind of falling right at the end underneath the edge of the roof. So if I turn the roof base back on, something's off. No, well, actually, you know what? I know for a fact that this is too large right now, so this whole back of the building is going to need to move forward a bit. So bearing that in mind, I'm just going to go ahead and grab these two and move them forward on the Y, and hopefully that'll put them more appropriately over here, away from that edge. It's still not far enough, so I may just end up having to do two separate sets of windows so that they're not mirroring across. Maybe not. Let me move this forward a little bit, a little more, and then grab this guy, move it forward a little bit, because the shutters need to be thinned out anyway. And once that happens, Okay, move these forward like so, and I'm gonna hide my block out real quick and take a look at the drone model. Maybe not hide the block out, I guess. Look at it in comparison to the drone model and see how everything's matching up. So yeah, for sure there's a whole lot that's wrong with the roof, so let's just hide that. See everything else in range. This still looks off though. Let's hide the block out and see, go to material preview, and maybe I just need to go ahead and match. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like I'm just gonna have, it looks like it's just off on this side. So yeah, okay, so these don't line up. So yeah, I can't mirror these. Let's unmirror, let's take all the mirror modifiers off of these. Same thing down here. Because I'll just have to duplicate them manually because I don't think they're in the same space. Alright. Everything else is closer than I thought it was. It's mainly just... Oh, and I have... Actually, the roof that I did is actually a good bit closer. I was looking at the wrong roof. Or a little bit different roof. Still needs to be adjusted, though. Especially in the back here. Okay, so let's turn this siding off. So it's easier to see what's going on here. Let's also turn this guy off, and then let's move these windows to the appropriate spot. It's like I may have went too small with them. Move this guy kind of to the appropriate spot. Either that or this needs to be scaled down some more. No, I don't think so. And that guy's a good bit bigger too. This guy actually is off still. Let's see, we're getting near the end of this Pomodoro. Yeah, I may have to continue messing with scale a bit. These front ones are looking pretty close. Turn the siding off. Would I have two windows there? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much I can trust this photogrammetry data. It's probably a little bit off. So let's not be too much of a slave to it, because there's definitely some differences going on. Okay, so let's take a break, and when I come back, I'll do some drawing. Okay. Getting ready to come back, you guys. Alright, so for this one, I want to diverge a bit, and I need to work on a couple things. So, I'm trying to create a couple projects. Technically, these are portfolio projects generally, but I'm going to go ahead and use them to create some Fiverr gigs, or just general freelance gigs, really. Really ought to change that to freelance, because there's a bunch of other places I'm going to look for gigs as well. So, let's add that here. And I'm just going to go ahead and start a focus on that. And I want to go ahead and work on this girl here, just as a change of pace, because I'm bored with modeling, and I don't feel like doing my other character right now, so let's work on this guy, or girl. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I need pure rough. Go ahead and pull that up, because I've got some images loaded for this. Okay. For the clothing. Alright, so most everything is there where I need it. But now I need to go in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing some vector layers. I'm going to go in and start outlining different areas, both as outlines for the line art, but also as blocking out for the flat color. Just trying a little bit of a different process here. Let's go and switch to my vector eraser, and like so. And if this is sort of like a character experiment, and just because I used a 3D model as a reference to kind of get the pose and the perspective where I wanted, and now I'm setting up this process here. If this goes well, which I think it's going to, I might go ahead and do, what I might do next is actually do like kind of an old school style pinup. Take like a model of a cool car and a girl, and do like an old school style like garage pinup sort of image, because it'll be fun, and you know, it'd be something to kind of get some interest in. I like stuff like that. So, but for this is just supposed to be a character design. Okay, so outline to that area. Let's go ahead and outline her face and hands. Actually, no, let's go ahead and get this skirt. So let's create a new vector layer. I'm doing vector because vector is really easy to select, to create selections from. So like although that's not going to work, because let me undo that. If I grab this folder here with the wand, I need to set it to reference layer first, I think. Or either that, or I have, but see how I nicely outlined this, and it goes straight to the center of this line there. Vector lines are really good for that. Okay, let's see here. Let's add a color layer, or a color whatever modifier to this. Just give it a color. We'll We'll call this skirt. I'm going to go ahead and outline that. And starting with this, there is, oops, still got my magic wand selected. Let's give that a second. So I kind of did a little bit of overlap on here. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Yeah, let's do it kind of more, kind of makes you want to say, Oh, my dad used to say that a lot. I don't really talk to him anymore because he and I don't get along, but I do kind of miss him. It's just he's never been diagnosed with anything, but I'm pretty sure he's either bipolar or something in that vein where it just makes him a really difficult person to be around most of the time, and it's really unfortunate. But I mean, he could be a cool guy. It's just, anyway, I probably shouldn't be getting into this. Not that anyone's probably ever going to see it, but yes, I kind of miss him. And whenever stuff like that pops up, I kind of remember how big of a part of my life he has been up to this point. And it makes me think about, how I could figure out a way to kind of reconnect without letting him. Problem is he has a way of creating drama that kind of throws everything off for me. And he tends to kind of attack all of my biggest insecurities, and because he likes me off balance. He's a person like that. He kind of he likes kind of having that ability. So I don't know. Anyway, so I got this, starting to get this figured out. This part is my least favorite part of any sort of project, is just like the grunt work of like having to kind of fill stuff in, but it needs to be done. This is probably the least invigorating thing I could have done on stream. This is definitely the sort of thing that I would normally like put on a TV show or something on Hulu or Netflix maybe, depending. Although for this kind of thing, I tend to like kind of more stuff that you don't have to think about, like the old sitcom or something, or maybe possibly a documentary, which actually would be really nice to do, like a History Channel binge or something. Okay. I do need to, let's go ahead and block this out. This actually needs to go up here. did put my vector eraser on, yes. Okay, so the vector eraser is nice because it automatically knows kind of where there's overlap, so it'll just cut all the way to that overlap. It's really nice. So you can kind of overshoot your lines, like right here where this overshoots, because it's easier to see. Not on the right, like right there. Let's go ahead and connect to that. Okay, I'm not trying to get the detail or whatever, I'm just doing outlines for the areas. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab another layer. Let's do skin this time. And I will add color layer, or add a color layer effect to it, and just grab my eyedropper here and grab another color. What have I not used yet? Something like that maybe, although that's going to be too loud. Let's do an orange. Something like that. There we go. Okay, and let's outline her face. I haven't decided yet quite how far I'm going to take the rendering on this. I'm probably going to try to paint it pretty well. And also, not all these outlines are going to remain either. I'm going to cut them in places and, you know, let the outline disappear in places. Okay, what are we doing here? We got 15 minutes left. This knee needs to be kind of smoothed out or lowered too. So let's grab this. I'm actually going to push this further down here. Which actually, I didn't really need the outline there. Although it couldn't necessarily hurt to separate the legs out. Make it easier to select them later. For this one, because it's a really long line and I hate drawing that long, let's just grab this continuous curve. And just kind of run that up like so. Same thing back here. Actually, I'm going to escape that. Okay. Do the same thing down here, which truthfully I could have probably done like all of this with this. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. And I'm essentially just tracing right now. It's a little less convenient for like short lines though. So for those I'd rather just use my pen. this one. I'm going to curve that a little more. Okay. Now I need, looks like I've got some funkiness going on. Oh no, that's, never mind. I was getting confused about what was what there. Let's go ahead and outline this here. And then right in here. For this one I am going to use continuous curve just because it's hard to get these lines smooth. And even. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I really kind of, I know it's not break time, but I really have to pee. I've got to pee. You know, I'll push through. I'll push through. By the way, this is probably going to be the last session for today, because I still have work I need to do, but I think for the rest of the day I'm going to need to kind of watch some videos and focus on some things. And the goal really is just to become more consistent with streaming, and with, as well as with like creating tutorial videos, creating just finishing drawings, finishing models. So I've got to balance it. So as much as I could work some more today, or could do some more streaming today, but I'm gonna have to pace myself, I think, because that's one area that I tend to always kind of screw up, is not balancing things properly. Ooh. So let's grab my pen and let's get these toes here. Kind of failed on me there for a second. And get this. Okay. And then let's get these toes here. Could be a little tricky. Let's see here. So something like that. Awesome. 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 And lastly, I need to get these shoes, and then I can start maybe pulling out some smaller details. So let's grab another one and throw on a color, and grab, I'm just gonna randomly grab something. Nope, nope, that was not, except for blue, because blue, I'll just grab that. There's already a pink one, but it's not like right by there. Alright, so for this, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm gonna use my continuous curve. And I'm going to cut off a little bit early here. And start curving around. like so. I'm actually going to end that and do this heel like so, and let's try and get this kind of smoothed out a little bit more so than was in the sketch. Okay. Let's erase that, erase that. Let's clean these up. Also need to get this strap here. And for that, I will go ahead and use the continuous curve just to get something a little more evenly spaced here. Okay, so with regards to all this down here, let's figure out how to do all this. So for starters, this guy right here, a little bit of visual confusion going on here that I may need to sort out. Also, that is my reminder to set my DoorDash schedule, which actually I need to probably do a little delivery driving and stuff today too. I really need to get this. Let's see, am I gonna be home by then? Sorry, you guys. Give me a second. Just setting my schedule for next week. Which, let's see, what time is it? You know what? I think it may be time to call it a day anyway, because I really have to pee. This Pomodoro is almost up, and it's probably time to log out for today. But thank you so much if you've actually been watching. And thanks to Chad for stopping and saying hey. And keep an eye out. I plan to do a whole bunch more drawing and modeling in the coming months and sharing it with you guys. And I also plan on putting out tutorials and stuff too. So